Hey guys, I thought I'd do a double video today. The first video I did was talking about my cancer journey, since I've been getting a lot of comments and mails and questions about, what kind of cancer I have, what happened. So I did a really long video about what all happened and how it happened and how I felt about it. So if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. Now on to the more fun or scandalous part. I finally watched the last two episodes of Love is Blind Sweden, and I was right about all of them except for one, because I really didn't think Sergio and Amanda would get married. I knew that Emily and Lucas wouldn't get married because of Lucas, and even in the reunion, the way he deflects, the questions that are asked, and the way he, acted one way on TV and another way when he's sitting on the couch is just sheer, cowardice, I think. And he just strung her along, and she even says, like she kept doing it because, she has a big heart and she has faith, and, and as she said, it was one of her, normally it is a strength, but in this case, it was a weakness. And I always say myself, when people ask you, like, what are your strengths, like at a job interview or such, I think it's my empathy. Because I think my empathy is one of my greatest strengths, but it's also one of my worst strengths, I guess you can say, because you can get burnt by having too much empathy. So Chrissie and Erasmus made it, which I thought they would. And of course, it showed them having a little bit of trouble afterwards, which, I mean, that's normal. I mean, all of this was kind of surreal, and then they go out into the real world. And the good thing is that they were adult about it. They went to couples counseling. I think they have the potential for really lasting. Who cares what this psychic said? I mean, I think it looked more like the psychic was going based off of like their movements, and you know what I mean? Like they can tell, they're very observant, so they can tell when they touch a nerve. So they kind of play off of that. So I would just put that aside and not even think about it. But I thought it was really strong of Chrissie to be very vocal and verbal about what she felt, even though you could tell that she had a hard time explaining things, or the fact that she, was on Sergio like I was hoping someone would be. Then we have Mira and Oscar. They are still together, very culturally different couple, but the thing that I think would make it work is that Oscar really does seem like the kind of guy that is trying to understand her culturally, and also, the whole, she likes to have silence, whereas he likes to be a chatterbox. And I think a lot of that, or it might have to do with some people are just very uncomfortable with silence or awkward silence. They feel like if there's a silence that, oh, this is an awkward moment, instead of, I think it's actually the opposite, when you can be around someone and not say anything and just be comfortable doing whatever you're doing, that's actually a strength, that you don't have to, like, put on a show, or not put on a show, but, like engage or entertain someone all the time. You can be your own self. Then we have Katja and Christopher. Did anyone else notice that Katja never smiles? This woman, anytime she was like talking with Mira and her girls and everything, she would smile and laugh and everything. But anytime it came to him, or just even just sitting on the couch, there's just this blank canvas. And I don't know, maybe the how Netflix or, shows do to try and cut things and make a person look a certain way. But it really did look like she just didn't know what she wanted. Then she says it, then he does it, and she still, fucks off. And then the twist of her being with the guy that she ended up with was just kind of, that guy? That's who you think? Okay, to each his own. I hope they're happy. I hope Christopher finds love because he seems like a very genuine and heartfelt person. Um, then we have Amanda and Sergio. I still cannot believe that they got married. I mean, it was lies from the start, and then there was these rumors. And when they did the rumor thing, I was kind of suspicious, not of him, but of the fact that they couldn't find a source. So I was like, that sounds like somebody's just trying to stir the pot, and that wasn't cool. But the way he interacted with her and kind of treated her, it just rubbed me the wrong way. You could tell it. His whole personality rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I mean, when they asked, did you think they would get married? I think every single person said no. And I wasn't shocked, but of course there was a baby somewhere in Sweden instead of Spain or Barcelona or whatever they said. And I'm like, God, how much crap or patience does Amanda have? Like, and then, she accepts that as well. Then they try and talk, and they actually bring up that he did lie, in fact, lie. And Sergio just deflects the whole time, like, oh, I'm sorry. And one thing that really pissed me off was that in the beginning, when he learned that Amanda had grown up with scoliosis, he backed away immediately. And that was just like, ugh, like, what do you think? She's going to look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Like, it was just so immature and gross. And it took such strength for her to like come out and say that, because of course there's going to be a stigma about it. So I think that showed a lot of his true colors there. I think it showed a lot of the true colors with the lying. The fact that he does have a baby now that he didn't know about. And now Amanda herself is pregnant. Fuck. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, I wish her happiness, but man, I mean, what do y'all think? Like, I can't be the only. I mean, literally everyone in the room said the same thing. Like, no, no, no. And, some of the girls were calling him out, and she just stood strong beside him. And I just don't understand quite why. Like, what she sees in this man. Like, is her self-esteem that low? Or I don't know. I don't know what happens behind closed doors, but I just think, like, ugh, like, she has to go through all this, and this is just the beginning, And they were saying, oh, if we do this in the beginning, then we'll last. I'm like, yeah, try something hard, like, your partner gets sick, or something like that. Like, Amanda doesn't really have to do anything with this child. Sergio will probably provide for this child, and hopefully they'll spend time. And she seems open to being a stepmom, which, just a little fact, you know what they call step parents here in Sweden? Plast mamma eller plast papa, which means plastic mom or plastic dad. How fucking weird is that? Why plast? I don't get it. They're fake. You might as well just say fake mom, fake dad. Like, it just, I don't know. It just seems really demeaning if there is a person that is a step parent that has to be called that. That rubs me the wrong way. I think that's pretty harsh or mean. Then we have Emilia and Lucas. And like I said, I was really hoping she would say no. But of course she said yes and he said no. And, everyone saw that coming because he just couldn't get over the whole intimacy thing, which was like, he was saying he had no problems with it in the beginning, and now all of a sudden he did. And, like, what was the problem here? Like, he kept just stringing her along. And literally after the wedding, they dated again. So it's like, why are you dragging this woman through the mud again? Like, after she has to go through the embarrassment of being rejected on TV, and then you still go and date with her, and she thinks she has a chance, and you, like, it was essentially her pushing him to say, like, hey, what is the deal? And, like I said, avoiding conflict and, blah, blah, blah. And of course, he's not single right now. So, yeah, I felt really bad because, yeah, she just seemed like a genuinely kind hearted person. And let's hope maybe somebody will reach out through social media or something and she'll find her happy ending. She definitely deserves it. Christopher also, I think, definitely deserves it. He seems really genuine. I'm sorry, Katya. You just seem like a bitch. I'm sorry. Like, like I said, maybe the cameras and everything are trying to make it seem like that, but I mean, it didn't make any sense. Like, when they brought up you were like intimate with him, okay, but you weren't attracted to him. How does that work? I don't understand what the problem was. He gave you literally everything that you wanted, and you still said no. So, like I said in the beginning before, it's women like this that make men think women are crazy because they say one thing, do another, or, get all hysterical over, crazy shit. We are not all like that, okay? Some of us women know what we want and will actually express that and don't like to play games. Games like that are for kids and teenagers. So, yeah, I could say, yeah, I'm kind of happily surprised that people did actually have the strength to speak up. Crisily more than most, I think, actually. And all the others kind of danced around things, like Sergio was avoiding shit like the plague. And he was, I mean, just none of it made any sense. But like I said, he was just trying to deflect from actually being called a liar when you literally have video proof of such is kind of, and the fact that she was like, no, he didn't really lie. I was like, welcome the king of gaslighting, like, I mean, how are you not seeing this, girl? Like, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, it's just a lie is a lie. And the fact that he still can't admit to having lied and not saying, okay, yes, I did lie. I'm sorry. It was the beginning. I didn't know. I was, this and that. And same thing with the scoliosis thing. He danced all around that as well. Didn't want to say anything, to make him look too shallow, but that's exactly what it was. And, yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah, Katya, Sergio, they just rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe they're great people, but yeah. Did you guys see any of this coming? What did you think? Did anyone rub you the wrong way? Or, which ones were your favorites? Like I said, this was really an experiment for me to kind of see, or not an experiment for me, but like to show the world what I've been saying for years, that like Swedish culture is very special and specific. And, you always get, oh, but Swedes are so nice. Yeah, sure, nice. But when it comes to anything conflict or, having to be, not saying they're dishonest, but honest about how they're feeling and stuff like that, they'd rather just, ditch or ghost. And that's for male or female. Tell me what you guys thought, your likes, dislikes, who you liked best, who you thought was the villain. Let me know.